All right, Niners fans, buckle up because the San Francisco 49ers are in the middle of a roller coaster season in 2025, and there are some developments that could shape the rest of their campaign in ways you might not expect. Recently, one of the most talked about moves in the league involved the Cincinnati Bengals acquiring veteran quarterback Joe Flacco from the Cleveland Browns. Flacco, of course, is the seasoned presence who started the season in Cleveland but was eventually replaced by the young third-round pick Dillon Gabriel. The Bengals, on the other hand, are navigating a challenging stretch with their star quarterback Joe Burrow sidelined until December due to a turf toe surgery, a serious injury that forced backup Jake Browning into a starting role. Browning's performances over the last few games have been, frankly, disastrous, making the acquisition of Flacco a desperate attempt to stabilize the position and try to salvage the Bengals season while keeping pace in the AFC North. From a standings perspective, this division has been remarkably tight. The Steelers currently hold a 3-1 record. The Bengals sit at 2-3, and with Burrow out, Cincinnati needs every bit of help it can get to remain competitive. The Ravens surprisingly struggling at 1-4, and the Browns, also at 1-4, highlight just how unpredictable the division has become. No team has truly pulled away, which makes every single game from here on out feel like a must-win. The Bengals' move to bring in Flacco creates some ripple effects across the league, not the least of which affects San Francisco. The 49ers have been monitoring pass rush options closely after losing Nick Bosa to a torn ACL, and the Bengals' recent trade could delay certain potential acquisitions for the Niners. San Francisco's defense has felt the absence of Bosa profoundly. In the first 3 games of the season, with Bosa active, the team consistently pressured opposing quarterbacks, racking up sacks, hits, and pressures that disrupted opposing offenses. In Week 1 against Seattle, the Niners generated 10 pressures, recorded a sack, and tallied 2 hits on the quarterback. The following week saw an uptick with 22 pressures, 3 sacks, and 2 hits, demonstrating Bosa's dominant presence. By Week 3, despite a solid 22 pressures, they only managed a single sack and 3 hits. Once Bosa went down early in the Arizona game, the team's pass rush effectively collapsed, producing just 1 sack and 1 quarterback hit over 2 full games. The contrast is stark and highlights not only Bosa's elite abilities, but also the urgent need for San Francisco to secure a high-impact pass rusher to maintain defensive effectiveness. There are a few names circulating in trade rumors that could fill this critical void. Trey Hendrickson has been on the radar for some time, and while the Bengals' recent trade may slow the momentum for acquiring him, the Niners are clearly exploring all avenues to restore balance to their defense. Another intriguing candidate is Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. Crosby, an all-pro defensive end in his prime, has expressed frustrations with his current organization, and his combination of experience, skill, and relentless motor makes him a tantalizing target for a team like San Francisco. Crosby has consistently performed at a high level, with an overall PFF grade of 84.6, a run defense grade of 78.6, and a pass rush grade of 76.8 this season. He has accumulated 2 sacks, 16 pressures, and 4 quarterback hits, showcasing his ability to change the game with consistent disruption. The Niners' defensive scheme under Robert Saleh and Chris Kwiatkowski could provide Crosby with the perfect environment to thrive, and bringing him in would significantly upgrade the pass rush after Bosa's injury. The urgency for the 49ers cannot be overstated. Without a dominant presence on the edge, opposing quarterbacks have far too much time in the pocket, and the team's ability to control games defensively diminishes dramatically. San Francisco has already faced struggles in games without Bosa, and while they've shown flashes of resilience, relying on the current rotation is not sustainable over the long haul. Every play where pressure is absent puts the secondary in a difficult spot, forcing cornerbacks and safeties to cover longer and increasing the likelihood of big plays. A high-caliber pass rusher, whether Hendrickson, Crosby, or another target, is no longer just a luxury. It's a necessity to keep San Francisco in contention. Meanwhile, there are positive developments on the roster front. The 49ers recently brought in several players for workouts, including some familiar names who had stints with the team previously. John Joyner, Michael Dwummer, Jonathan Garvin, Bruce Hector, Shaquille Brown, and Tommy Aingbot are all on the radar, showcasing the team's strategy of evaluating both experienced options and developmental talent. These workouts suggest the team is actively exploring additions that could contribute immediately or provide depth for the challenging weeks ahead. Additionally, a notable roster decision involved releasing defensive back Jalen Mahoney from the practice squad. Mahoney had been a trusted part of the team's taxi squad, and while this move may seem minor, it reflects the constant evaluation and adjustments the Niners are making to optimize the roster. Special attention must also be given to the kicker situation, which has been nothing short of a revelation. The decision to release Jake Moody and sign Eddie Pinheiro has proven to be a season-saving move for San Francisco. Pinheiro has delivered in clutch moments consistently, converting critical field goals in tight games that have directly contributed to Niners victories. From long-distance conversions to game-winning kicks as the clock expired, his accuracy and composure under pressure have added a new dimension to San Francisco's offensive strategy. He is currently a perfect 11 for 11 on field goal attempts this season, demonstrating reliability across multiple ranges, including successful kicks from 20 to 29 yards, 30 to 39 yards, 40 to 49 yards, and beyond 50 yards. This kind of consistency not only adds points on the board, but also provides a psychological boost for the team, knowing that scoring opportunities will be maximized regardless of game pressure. Overall, San Francisco's management is juggling multiple moving parts, from defensive acquisitions to roster adjustments and special teams decisions, all while navigating the evolving landscape of the NFL season. The combination of strategic trades around the league, injuries to key players, and the emergence of clutch performers like Pinheiro highlights the intricate balance required to keep the team competitive. Every decision, every workout, every roster move could have a domino effect on the Niners' playoff aspirations, making this period of the season particularly compelling for fans and analysts alike. The interplay between divisional dynamics, league-wide trades, and internal team adjustments paints a vivid picture of the high-stakes environment San Francisco operates in, where calculated risks and decisive actions can define the trajectory of the entire campaign. Now, as we dive deeper into the San Francisco 49ers season, it's impossible to ignore just how much the team's identity is being tested. Losing Nick Bosa for the year left a massive void on the edge, and the defense has had to adjust on the fly. The team's pass rush, which was one of the most feared in the league with Bosa healthy, has struggled to generate consistent pressure since his injury. Opposing quarterbacks have had more time in the pocket, and the secondary has been forced to carry extra weight, trying to compensate for the lack of disruption up front. This has exposed a vulnerability that opponents are eager to exploit, and the clock is ticking for San Francisco to make a move before the trade deadline. The possibility of acquiring a game-changing defensive end has been a central topic in discussions around the league. Trey Hendrickson remains an option, though the Bengals' recent trade with Flacco has complicated the timing. The Niners have been closely monitoring Max Crosby as well, and the logic behind pursuing him is compelling. Crosby is an all-pro caliber player in the prime of his career, someone who not only brings elite pass-rushing ability, but also a relentless motor and an intensity that could inspire the rest of the defensive unit. His presence in San Francisco's wide nine scheme could elevate the entire defense, turning a unit that has been inconsistent since Bosa's injury back into one that can dominate games. It's not just about adding talent. It's about the psychological boost a player like Crosby could provide. For a team that has faced the disappointment of losing its star pass rusher, bringing in someone who can immediately pressure quarterbacks changes the dynamic for the entire squad. It allows the defensive backs to play more aggressively, knowing that pressure is coming from the edge, and it gives the linebackers freedom to make plays without constantly covering gaps left by a missing pass rusher. The chain reaction is significant, and San Francisco has the resources to make a move, even if it comes at the cost of high draft capital. For a team in contention and looking to maximize its current window, the cost may be worth it. Meanwhile, the quarterback landscape around the league continues to shift in ways that indirectly affect San Francisco. With Joe Flacco moving to Cincinnati, the Bengals are effectively pressing reset at the quarterback position while Burrow recovers. This impacts other team strategies because it delays potential trades for edge rushers like Hendrickson, who might have been available sooner if the Bengals had chosen a different path. The ripple effects of such moves show how interconnected the league is and how a single trade can influence multiple teams' plans, including the 49ers. It's a chessboard scenario, with each franchise trying to anticipate what others will do while balancing its own immediate needs and long-term goals. On the roster front, San Francisco has been proactive in evaluating talent to fill gaps and provide depth. The recent workouts of John Joyner, Michael Dwummer, Jonathan Garvin, Bruce Hector, Shaquille Brown, and Tommy Aingbot indicate a deliberate strategy of blending experience with potential. Each of these players brings something different, whether it's familiarity with the system, versatility, or raw athletic ability that can be molded into a contributor. The Niners staff is clearly leaving no stone unturned, understanding that the right addition at the right time could be the difference between making a deep playoff run and falling short. And then there's the special teams factor, which cannot be overstated this season. Eddie Pinheiro has emerged as a critical component of the team's success. His clutch kicking has directly influenced multiple outcomes, from game-winning field goals to long-distance conversions that would have been considered high-risk earlier in the season. Pinheiro's consistency has not only kept the scoreboard ticking, but has also provided a sense of confidence throughout the roster. Players know that if the offense stalls, the kicker can still secure crucial points, and that assurance translates to a higher level of overall team performance. His ability to perform under pressure is reminiscent of elite kickers who have historically swung games in their team's favor, and having that reliability is invaluable in a tightly contested league. Looking ahead, the schedule for the 49ers remains a test of endurance and adaptability. Key divisional matchups will determine the team's positioning for the playoffs, and every game carries weight. The team must balance the urgency of addressing immediate roster needs, particularly on defense, with the long-term strategy of preserving draft capital and maintaining financial flexibility. Each practice, each evaluation, and each small decision contributes to a larger picture where timing and execution are everything. The front office and coaching staff are working behind the scenes to ensure that the team is in the best possible position to compete, but the clock is relentless, and every week presents new challenges. It's also worth noting that the Niners' identity this season is being defined by resilience. Overcoming the loss of a star like Bosa requires creativity, adaptability, and leadership from both veterans and emerging players. The ability to stay competitive in games, executing critical moments, and maintain focus despite adversity is shaping this team into one that can thrive under pressure. This is a franchise that understands how fleeting windows of opportunity can be in the NFL, and the decisions made over the next few weeks will have ramifications not just for 2025, but potentially for years to come. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, whispers are growing louder that the San Francisco 49ers have set their sights on none other than Budda Baker, the stalwart safety from the Arizona Cardinals. While the dust has yet to settle, insiders hint that talks between the two franchises are heating up behind closed doors, fueling a frenzy among fans and analysts alike. Baker, known for his explosive athleticism and uncanny ability to read offenses, has long been a linchpin for the Cardinals' defense. But as the 49ers look to cement their status as perennial contenders, the lure of pairing Baker with their already formidable secondary appears irresistible. Sources close to the situation suggest that San Francisco is willing to offer a package that could include draft picks and possibly one of their versatile defensive backs, a move that would signal just how serious the Niners are about bolstering their defensive arsenal. Meanwhile, Baker himself has remained enigmatic, offering little to the media, though his camp is reportedly open to exploring opportunities. The mere suggestion of Baker donning the red and gold has already set social media alight, with fans debating how his presence could shift the balance in the NFC. Arizona, for its part, faces a delicate balancing act. Losing a player of Baker's caliber would be a blow, yet the Cardinals are rumored to be weighing the potential long-term benefits of acquiring high draft picks or emerging talent. NFL insiders are quick to point out that while the trade hasn't been finalized, the very fact that discussions are reportedly ongoing is enough to make this one of the most tantalizing off-season storylines in recent memory. As the rumor mill churns, analysts are speculating about the strategic implications. Baker's ability to cover ground, force turnovers, and act as a safety net in critical moments could transform the 49ers' defense into a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Meanwhile, the Cardinals would have to recalibrate their defensive schemes, possibly giving younger players a chance to step into the spotlight. Whether this deal materializes or remains just tantalizing chatter, one thing is certain. The NFL world is watching, waiting, and buzzing with anticipation. The question on everyone's lips: will Budda Baker really make the leap from the desert to the Bay? Only time will tell, but the mere rumor is enough to send fans into a frenzy, igniting debates, dreams, and sleepless nights in equal measure. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.